So there's three ways to make more money. Okay. Number one, you can increase your closing ratio. That probably takes the longest because that takes experience and time, right? More people like learning, like studying, increasing your closing ratio. So that's probably the longest, but that one's the most healthiest way. Number two is increase the amount of people that you see. Okay.
It's the
So
volume.
by having a marketing source that we know will give us consistent, people that we need to speak to that are interested and have high intention, that's huge. Okay. I strive to have 22 to 30 brand new first appointments every month. Now, doing it virtually, it's beautiful. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's one a day, to be honest, like one first appointment a day during the month. You know what I mean? Like that's
Mm-hmm.
insane. Like, and then on top of that, it's the third way is the size of the case because anybody can do 3 cases a month, but are they doing, 350 to $400,000 cases a month? Like that's what gets me to that level. The size of my case is that, it's easy to get to that level. So, but if you combine all three ways and you're working on all three ways simultaneously, like, man, that's where it takes.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Big Hitters Podcast. I'm joined by Rodrigo Gil, who is a friend of mine from Rise Up Kings. He also has a background in financial services and has an agency, an FMO, is also a lead gen expert. He is an expert in the annuity world as well. He is he's the founder of Financial Growth Group, and he's got some really cool marketing things that he's doing, and I'm excited to dive into it. We actually know a lot of the same people having been in the industry as well. Rodrigo, tell us a little bit about your time in the world of insurance and financial services.
Sure. 13 years, got brought in by a gentleman named Josh Melberg, who, I consider one of the pioneers of internet marketing. Was able to help him grow his organization to the point where we sat at the table with AmeriLife and sold it. And then I went off and, started my own, I want to say it's not insurance, is annuities, because that's what we specialize in. And very blessed to have some phenomenal partners and power producers that I work with. And we run everything virtual. That's one thing that COVID scared us into, was to start really, really pushing virtual marketing. So, I currently, have the pleasure of operating anywhere in the world, as long as I have a computer and, Wi-Fi. I can meet my clients, I can support my agents, and we can do a massive amount of production. So that's basically a rundown.
So tell us about the model. So, for the people out there that don't understand maybe what an insurance agency or FMO is, your model is to recruit advisors, provide them with a unique way of acquiring annuity cases, and then you also provide them with a structure and support to help them produce better. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's three key things in developing an agent. First and foremost, I like to work with agents that are already in the blood and the mud. I really don't recruit from the ground up. Why? Because they understand the pain, and I need them to understand the pain of having to go through it, because then they'll appreciate the path of least resistance that I provide for them. So there's three things that I work on: is the marketing, the product knowledge to understand strategies, how we can basically sell any carrier against the same carrier and provide a 15 to 20% higher output for the clients by using strategies. And then on top of that, understanding word tracks in the sales process, because technically it's the same sales process. We just connect better with the client with better word tracks. So those three things take I'm going to say, average agent to a top producing agent overnight.
That's really interesting, because I know that when I worked at Financial Independence Group, so I was a marketer, and I called advisors across the country and recruited them and say, hey, move your Allianz or your Athene or all these contracts to us. I definitely understand what you're saying is taking someone from zero to understanding product knowledge. That was always a pretty big lift. right? But then also, you mentioned it, but helping them with better processes and sales processes, right? But if I heard you correctly, so you could literally take an advisor who's writing a bunch of Athene or Allianz or whatever and show them how, with the same product, you can actually get the client more guaranteed income or protection or whatever.
Yep.
So you just in your case design, is that right?
Yeah. So first and foremost, just the basics of the product, understanding how to explain it better gives the advisor more confidence, which boosts the energy, which in turn, boosts the closing ratio. But we got to work on marketing first, right? So we got to make sure that they're consistently getting in front of clients. And we also use marketing that brings in big assets. Okay. So one thing is you can close 10 clients and do $150,000 average application when my guys are doing $400,000 average application. That takes you to the next level, right? That doubles your income right there off the spot. Number two,
Mm.
how do we have a better client experience? By having more confidence in the product, understanding it better, explaining it better, so that the client does more business with us than anybody else, and then introducing strategies that can increase the output. Like I said, whether it's withdrawal strategies on the income rider, whether it's Roth conversion strategies to give them the income rider, tax free, because once we switch the qualification of the base account, the income rider is based, the taxability of the income rider is based on the, account qualification, or
Hmm.
whether we're combining products, like I show my clients how I can provide long-term care for free by utilizing an annuity and a life insurance with a long-term care provider,
Hmm.
combined. So
Hmm.
by doing it that way, I can help my agents literally become smarter, better, more powerful agents when they're in front of clients. And last but not least, word tracks. I teach them to ask great questions. When you ask great questions, like not just good questions, not like I'll give you a quick example. You ready?
Yeah.
Most, mo- most people ask, "How old are you, John?" or whoever they're talking to, right? I teach them to start asking, "How young are you?" I'll tell you what, and they always ask me like, "How do you know it's a great question?" What the reaction of the clients tells you whether it's a great question. Either like they'll literally say, "That's a great question." If they say that, then it's a great question. I mean, come on, right? So every time I ask that, they're like, "Huh, I love that." Right? So then I know it's a great question, or they'll say, "Hey, that's a great question. I'm this year's young." So by
Hmm.
it's not about reinventing the wheel. It's about the best ideas are the stolen ideas that are perfected.
Hmm.
So
Well, to give the audience a sense of the size of your kind of businesses, either overall premium or number of producers or something like, you don't have to give us your P&L, but something like that.
no worries. So I strive to help my agents do $1 million a month. Okay. Uh, like I have a total of 18 agents. I'm going to say 12 of them are hierarchies, and then the other six are either support agents for some of them. Um, we did 8 million submitted this month, right? I mean, that's we'll do 100 million, at that rate, so, um, with 12 agents, 100 million, average is 8 million, and we're doing everything virtually part-time. We're having a great time, that's, you know, there's not many IMOs out there that have an average $8 million producer, that they're working
Yep.
with, so I'll do 14 million this year.
Love that.
Yep.
That's awesome. What's going well in your business and then what's not going so well? What do you feel like is, something you're really proud of or going really well or something, and then also something that you feel like needs improvement?
So, sometimes you can grow so fast that you basically go out of business. Okay, so um, bringing in the correct support. I'm planning to hire two more supporting roles by the end of the year because we're growing so fast that I need to make sure that we don't start leaking business. Not supporting clients, not doing annual reviews. Annual reviews is huge. Paperwork. One thing I teach my agents is become agent of record of every annuity and life insurance policy that you touch. Why? Because you'll eventually do business with it. So that takes a lot of paperwork. That takes a lot of follow up. So just stuff like that I think that's where I'm going wrong. I, I grew a little too fast, and now I got to slow down and before I continue to recruit, is bring in the right support to handle more people. Also, we will be diversifying in 2026 to educational workshops, physical workshops. I do believe that there is a time, now it is time to get back into those. Previous to this, people still wanted virtual calls. You mean? But the nation obviously is done with COVID. They're okay with going to events, and I think we'll get back into that. Um, what's going right is we're lean and mean, man. We really don't run too much overhead. We're very blessed to be under, you know, top annuity NMO, like you are. So yeah, I mean, everything's going phenomenal.
Let's talk about AI for a second. And I know you're leveraging it. How are you using it, and where do you feel like you could be using it that you're not?
Uh, I'll tell you what, AI, we strictly use it to set appointments. Right now, there's no other. We have a AI, appointment setter. Uh, it is becoming more. The nation is starting to catch on to AI appointment setters. So uh, that's the only reason we're using AI, to be honest. Um, but I would love to understand more ways for it to become part of the business and make it more efficient. Follow up. Annual reviews. Like there are a lot of things that I think could take over. AI could take over.
Yeah. Chase, have you had any questions? I haven't even, you've been on, I haven't even let you talk.
No, you're good. I'll jump in here in a sec.
Okay, cool. Um, Rodrigo, we met through Ruck.
Yeah.
Talk to me about how Ruck has, Rise of Kings has impacted your life, business, whatever you want to share about.
I'll tell you what, man. It was life changing. I should have gone on my own a long time ago. I was scared shitless. I thought I needed. I was codependent of having a partner, and I was always upset. Really didn't have joy in my heart, and just basically taught me to reorganize my priorities. I think faith was my last priority, to be honest, and I put it first. I tried to do silent prayers where, I ask him to tell me what my purpose is every day, try to figure out, give me light as to what I should do. Just show me the opportunities and then let me do what I got to do. And this has been one of the most successful years of my life. So that's that.
I love that.
All I can say is I can definitely, and I'm talking about not just success in business. I think business is, I'm detached from the money, by the way. Like if I know that if all, else fails and we got to start from zero, I'm perfectly fine. You know what I mean? And I've never felt like that, so that's one thing. But in my family was, a priority behind that, So now I put faith, family, up first. And, this is embarrassing, but I think it's perfectly fine to admit this. I call my fiance my wife, and we've been engaged for, 6 years, and we're getting married in a month, and
That's awesome, dude.
That's
literally
awesome, man.
literally because of Rise Up King, and she deserves it. And she needs to be, my partner for life. And so, yeah, so in a month, we'll be getting married.
Let's go, dude. That's awesome.
Chase, any questions from you?
I was curious, if you don't mind circling back just a little bit, I had a thought. So when you said your goal is for your agents to do around $1 million a month, how long do you think it takes an agent to, I guess, get up to that level of performance?
So it actually doesn't take that long, guys. I look, I'm just a little Mexican, man. You know what I mean? Like, to be able to say I do 14 million is insane. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And so
Yeah.
here's what I know is like, I'm a math guy. So there's, I've literally brought it back down to I'm going to say a Rodrigo science. Okay. So there's three ways to make more money. Okay. Number one, you can increase your closing ratio. That probably takes the longest because that takes experience and time, right? More people like learning, like studying, increasing your closing ratio. So that's probably the longest, but that one's the most healthiest way. Number two is increase the amount of people that you see. Okay.
Just the
So
volume.
by having a marketing source that we know will give us consistent, people that we need to speak to that are interested and have high intention, that's huge. Okay. I strive to have 22 to 30 brand new first appointments every month.
Mm.
Okay. Now, doing it virtually, that's it's beautiful. Okay.
Hmm.
Because, it's one a day, to be honest, like one first appointment a day during the month. You know what I mean? Like, that's
Hmm.
insane. Like, and then on top of that, it's the third way is the size of the case. Okay. Because anybody can do three cases a month, but are they doing, you know, 350 to $400,000 cases a month? You know what I mean? Like, that's what gets me to that level. The size of my case is that, it's easy to get to that level. So, but if you combine all three ways and you're working on all three ways simultaneously, like, man, that's where it takes, I'm not the smartest man in the room. Uh, I learn a lot from my guys, what they do, what they say, how they interact with the clients. So between that, so what I'm saying is someone that had the grit and the want, and I'll say this last thing. If you start with me and you're not committed to doing the marketing for a minimum of 90 days, then don't even start because you guys know the life cycle of annuities. You're not going to see the fruits of your labor for 60 to 90 days because
Right.
between closing the deal and the transfers, you know what I mean? Like so that's the problem that I see a lot of agents is they are constantly jumping ship on marketing organizations and having to learn a new process, a new process. And believe me, I have plenty of guys that would testify that they wanted to cry and quit within the 90 days.
Mm.
And then
Yeah.
all of a sudden on the 75th day, uh, 2 to 3 million hit. They're like, oh my God. Like I'm like, I told you, let's go.
Hmm.
You mean just stay positive. Boom, boom, boom. Keep pushing them, you know? So yeah, I don't think it's that hard if they understand the foundation of annuities. So
Hmm.
Mm, I love it. Is there anything we haven't talked about today that gets you fired up?
I'll tell you what, man, I love annuities. I'll show you guys something.
That's
That's
great.
sweet.
Oh, you trademarked that. I
Yeah.
forgot.
So this one's just generic, but
Oh, that's sick.
yeah, I'll send you guys some. Send me your address. I'll send you guys some hats.
You got it. You got it.
Yeah.
No,
Rodrigo,
me excited. You guys get me excited. Ruck gets me excited. Spartan, by the way, that was my fitness goal for the summer was to start getting ready for Spartan. In 3 weeks. Hopefully, we crush it.
I love it. Well, Rodrigo, if people want to learn more about who you are and what you do, where can they go?
So they can find me on social media. We got a free Facebook group. If you're licensed, you're more than welcome to come on board. We talk about annuities all the time. It's called Premier Annuity Council. And then obviously social media. We have PAC accounts, Premier Annuity Council on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. Follow us on that. We're always giving. I like to call it pay raise, tips, where if you listen and you understand what we said on there, you're going to get a pay raise.
I love that.
Absolutely.
Cool. Well, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. Don't go anywhere because I want to keep chopping it up with you. But thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks, Rodrigo.
Absolutely. Thank you guys.